What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another amazing and impactful episode of the True Health Forever podcast, where we shall live our best life through the lens of holistic health. That feel
It
more
always
natural?
throws me off.
I'm your host, Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, and as usual, I have with me the beautiful, the corny, the galactic, the hair curly queen herself.
Yes.
Talk to the people.
What's up, party people? My name is Sinclair, aka
The
Health Nerd, and happy to be here on a Saturday evening ish.
Yes, even it's been a powerful one. We're gonna jump right into it, but just know this has been a $1 billion day for us on the off day, still getting it done. What's that line? Working on the weekend like usual. That's all I know. That's the only part of the song that I be repeating, right? But today what we're gonna talk about is symbols of wealth, right? Things that you can place in your home, in your office, in your car that you might see driving, just symbols of wealth that you can have around you that can really inform your action and motivate you to take your life and your family's life to the next level. Queen, are you ready to hop into it?
Let's do it.
Okay, well, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Okay. All right, we're back. We're back onto it. All right. So welcome again to the True Health Forever podcast. We appreciate y'all. If you're tuning in, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with a friend if you're watching live, and definitely engage, ask your questions, drop your nuggets, all that good stuff. We're here for it. All right. So step number one, Queen, is we need to define in our own words what a symbol is. All right. So you want me to take it? You take it?
You got it.
Yeah, okay. Feel free to do some things you got to do while I do this definition. All right. So, and the Queen's about to take a little intermission. We did a dope documentary with Emmanuel and Unassociated, and we're still wrapping that up. But symbols, for my definition, symbols are images or lettering, things that you can see that represent more than what you see, right? If that makes sense, things that just by seeing it, like logos, trademarks, hieroglyphics, and we'll talk a little bit about that later, but things that you see that represent more than what's just on the surface, right? And I feel like, and we'll get some examples later on, but I feel like trademarks and logos have almost become the modern day hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
All right, because like with the hieroglyphics are the symbols, the language, the stories that we see in caves, in pyramids, on the walls, and it tells the story and the legacy of what was there before. And I feel like in our 200 years of or 400 years of America, logos are everywhere. And I think 1,000 years from now, 100 years from now, you're going to find all these types of images, all these logos that are going to tell the story of what we valued and what we lived in.
Right.
For you, you got a different twist on what symbols are?
No, I think it's just something that, like, when it means something more than just the image that it is.
Right.
So when I know we'll get into it, but if you see like an apple with a bite out of it, like, it means much more than just an apple with a bite out of it right now. So I think that it basically, yeah, it's an image that has a lot of meaning behind it. That it can evoke images. Emotions. It can evoke memories. It can evoke actions. Yeah, I think it's just something that represents something else.
Right. And tell us what this honking represents right in this background. Impatience, for sure. But there are some common symbols that we already see and that I think inspire action, right? And that's the point that I really want to talk about today, on how you can create an intentional space with symbols that create actions for you to build wealth, actions for you to live a healthy lifestyle, to build those healthy habits like the queen likes to do, you know what I'm saying? The health nerd over here. So let's go ahead and show a few common symbols that I think we're used to, a few common symbols that may motivate some action. So all the way to the left. And you know the neighborhood that we live in is a little wild today. So if y'all hear some stuff, you know, one, pray for us. listen,
Pray for them.
Pray for them, and then pray for us too. But all the way to the left, what action comes from that symbol, right? All the way to the left. If you're watching this, if you're just listening, it is a stop sign. But the word stop isn't in there. It's just an octagon, a red octagon. What action it comes from seeing that on the road? Most of us, I would hope, right? I would hope you think when you see that, stop, or at least slow down to a roll, right? So that action, no matter where you are, like that symbol makes me think of stopping. The next symbol, the Nike symbol, you know what I'm saying? Pretty prominent brand out here, and the rest are going to be brands. But what action do you think of? And Queen, I'll hand it to you for a second. When you see that swoosh sign, what are some actions that you get motivated to do?
Workout.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel like I have Nikes. Those are my go-to running shoes. So I feel like I see that, I think like, go put on your shoes and go on a walk, go on a run, go do something.
Right. Agreed, 100%. So the fact that Nike has built a pretty dope brand and a recognizable symbol to create action, athleticism, all that. Appreciate you, E-Man. Yeah, drive safe, man. So next symbol, which has a lot of different meanings.
Yeah.
Right, has had a lot of different meanings, especially for me because I used to work for them. But right now we got the golden arches. Mickey D's, Ronald McDonald. All right, what symbol does that, or what action does that symbol inspire you to do? Now for me, go ahead.
You said eat.
Eat,
especially
right?
When I'm hungry.
Right, we starving right now. But when you see the McDonald's, you think, ooh, let me go ahead and eat, and not just eat for one person. I feel like McDonald's has done a interesting job to where it's like it's kind of family oriented too.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like you don't want to just get one chicken nugget.
You gotta get the 20 piece.
You gotta get the 20. You gotta get the 50. Like you
they
can't.
Got a 50 piece?
They used to have a 50 piece. Yes. Listen.
Don't tell me you ate one of those.
I ate a whole 20 piece by myself. So if it was me and some friends, I'm getting minimum 50. This was pre Sinclair Devon in here. But McDonald's, you see eat, you see family. Their motto is ba 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 ba. I'm loving it, right? They even have love in their mottos. When you see their sign, you think of love, you think of family, right? Which can be good, could be bad. Lastly, on here, the apple, right? And I'll let the queen talk about what maybe actions or emotions that symbol represents for her.
I did used to have a Mac, so I feel like it makes me go into like work mode almost. I'm like, let me go do something. I feel like it always kind of connects to like personally. So like my MacBook is what I used when I was in school and I was in college. So I feel like when I see that, it makes me think of like studying. I'm like, dang, I gotta go study. It ain't necessarily like a positive thing. So it also comes with like stress of like all these midterms and exams. I was an engineer, so it was always stressful.
Yeah, I think of creativity, like creating something, innovating something, right? So again, these are just a few popular symbols out there. Let us know in the comments or in the live chat what these things represent or mean to you, and what other just popular symbols are out there that you're just driving by and you're kind of consuming without the intention of consuming, right? Because they're very strategic. Like McDonald's, you drive it on the freeway, you are always going to see a McDonald's sign. You're always going to see an Arco. You're always going to see a Shell station, certain things. If you're in the big city, like if you're in a San Francisco, in a LA, you're going to see a Nike billboard somewhere. Right. So I find it very, very interesting that a lot of these symbols are put into places and you're, semi-forced to consume them without your intention.
Because it's like when you think about, I feel like it's not always conscious, but you are seeing these images. So the minute, you need a new pair of running shoes,
Nike.
That's the first place I'm going.
Right.
Or you're hungry, if that's what you eat, if you're hungry, like, oh shoot, you know what? I haven't had McDonald's in a bit. I'm feeling McDonald's.
Facts.
It's like, actually, it's because you just saw the billboard on the McDonald's side and it's fresh in your head, and that's why it propped up first. So it's crazy how like we may not even be always conscious of why things you pop into our brain and why we consume them.
Possibly a whole different podcast episode, but our subconscious mind has more control over our daily actions and habits than our conscious mind does. So the fact that subconsciously we're constantly seeing these images, the fact that subconsciously we're constantly seeing these commercials and hearing this, the fact that I remember, like the fact that I know that in my subconscious will kind of motivate and inspire certain action in my conscious mind. So that was a good point, Quinn. Now feel free to, double check to keep me on track, but I believe the next thing that we want to talk about is how you can intentionally put symbols into your spaces, right? Intentionally create a beautiful office space that represents what you want to do. All right. So we transition into that a little bit.
Yes.
Cool. So first step is, I feel like you need to define what action you want to even be taking. Right. So is it creativity? Is it health? Is it push-ups? Is it getting to work and doing your homework or writing your essay? Like, what action are you wanting to be motivated to do? Once you know that, you then can create a certain space in your office. You can create a certain space in your living room. You can create a certain space in your kitchen, right? Each space should have a different action associated to it, right? So again, some of the spaces is your office space, your bedroom, your kitchen, your car, the office space that you have at your work. All those spaces should be intentionally curated and designed with symbols, pictures, images that motivate the action that you want. Okay. So before we get into the actual symbols that we think symbolize wealth and more holistic health as well, for us, y'all know health is wealth. Y'all know what I'm saying? It's part of the same thing. So we're going to get into a few examples of kind of general symbols you can put around that inspire wealth and prosperity. But Queen, anything else you want to sprinkle on that as far as setting and creating your intentional space?
I think that to your point on like you should have a different intention for the different rooms. So I feel like, for example, like if your office space is, if you're a creative, you would want your office space to probably inspire creative thoughts, creative images. It should inspire you to create, to produce something. Whereas like, for example, if you want to, your home gym shouldn't have a couch in it. I'm just saying. Now, obviously, our living room doubles as our home gym, so it's next to each other.
They're separated.
Right, separated. But your gym space or whatever your active space is shouldn't have things that promote like sedentariness, laziness, right? It should be like things that promote movement. So I think that even the fact that we do have in our living room, again, it is not separated from our home gym, but it is kind of cool to know that like it does kind of inspire you to want to do something active because you got that stuff in there. So even if you are, sitting there on the couch, sometimes I'm working and I'm like, I'll look over at our bike and I'm like, you know what? I can be doing this on the bike, so let me go on my bike. And it's just because I saw the bike and I thought, you know what? Let me actually get some movement in. So I think, to your point on like build it intentionally to whatever you want to happen. We make health a part of our lives, so that's why we got in every room. I'm pretty sure you got some weights in here somewhere.
I took them out. I used to.
Gotcha. We try to have something that promotes health in every room.
Got the stress ball.
Yeah, there you go.
That was interesting. Furniture as a symbol, right? I feel like a couch represents a certain lifestyle. A standing desk represents a certain lifestyle. So that was an interesting point. All right, so we can kind of go back and forth on different types of symbols that we have. I'll go ahead and kick us off because I'm a very visual person. The symbols that I love are quotes, images, paintings, even like on this other side, we have our vision board, like even our own writing and scribbling that we're doing. Like I love being able to see things, and that inspires to me action, right? So having Black excellence paintings in the office reminds me of the Black excellence that I want to embody, reminds me of the Black excellence that I want to inspire and help other people create as well. Having our manifestations and our goals written down on paper behind us on the vision board helps me again work towards the goal. So art, paintings, pictures, posters, quotes, anything that you can see and that can inspire positivity or inspire creativity, action, whatever you're trying to go towards for your own space. Put it up. Like if you want to be a health professional, have some anatomy pictures up in your office, have some health quotes up there, have some uh books and pyramids of health, even though that's a little, the pyramid of health is a little off, but
Yeah.
create your own pyramid of health. Like have things that inspire that. So for me, I'm gonna go with art, quotes, pictures, definitely a necessity in all my spaces.
I like the plants as one,
Mm-hmm.
because one, they symbolize life.
Mm-hmm.
It symbolizes vitality. It symbolizes like freshness to me. But also, yeah, I feel like it, because it is literally life, it's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Plants also, I mean, talking about like health wise, they also like provide fresh oxygen for the room, which can promote, better breathing, better thinking, better just everything. So I do love plants. We don't have too many real plants because we're also not very good at keeping them alive.
This thumb's black. It ain't green. Tell you that right now. This thumb right here.
So we did try and don't. So when we get a house with a yard, we want to have a full garden. So that's when we're really going to get into our green thumb. But right now, in our little condo, we're not really able to keep too much alive. We do have a bamboo plant. It is still kicking.
It's holding strong.
It is I wouldn't say strong. It has a couple of dead legs on it, but it is still alive.
It's over here just limping through life.
Exactly. But we tried basil, and we tried, I think, moringa. Moringa, yeah.
All types.
We did get a little sprout of the basil, but then it never grew past that.
Right. So but someday.
Yeah, someday. But I think there are a lot of cool plants that have different functional purposes. Again, there's some that like purify the air more. There's some that provide like the oxygen. There's some that smell good, right? You can get plants that smell good. You get some fresh lavender, like to promote like stress-free environment, that relaxness. That'd probably be good for like the bedroom. So yeah, plants can also serve
romance gifts. Oh goodness. All right, and last but not least, kind of in the same parallel as plants, but also just having literally pieces of the earth in there, right? And I know you always like plants, earth, art. How does that represent wealth? How does that represent health? So literally gold. Gold comes from the earth, and we have commercialized it in this nice refined way in chains and in rings and all that stuff. But you can get a nugget of gold from the earth, dust it off, boom, have that on your desk, and that in itself can help inspire things. Gold is also good for your health. Like I've drinking some gold water, and I felt very royal when I was drinking my gold water. And it does help your body with the blood flow. It helps with brain circulation activity. And I don't think it's any, I feel like, surprise when we learn about the health of gold, why the ancient African kings had so much gold on them, right? Maybe it wasn't just for the bling. Maybe it was for, I want to live as long as possible, and I know the health benefits that come with this mineral, so I want all this mineral to myself. And also in African times, like the person who can hold the most gold on them would become king. I find it interesting that now we have all these chains on us to symbolize wealth, but back in the day, like it symbolized like real power and wealth as well. But in addition to that, you can get amethyst stones, which is our birthstone as Aquarii. You know what I'm talking about? Aquarii, is that a word?
I don't know. It is now.
All right, hey, we symbols, they're all made up, right? All the words, we create new symbols right here. Aquarii, cistrine, there's all types of different like minerals that you can get, jade, obsidian, all that good stuff that you can get from the earth, that when you put it into environment, they can help promote emotional well-being. They can help promote calmness. Some help promote like quality of sleep, creativity, all that good stuff, right?
You want to go over some of the specifics of the stones?
Go ahead, hit us with it.
So amber reduces stress, headaches, and promotes self-expression. Amethyst promotes spiritual and physical health.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Look at us.
Look at that. You said citrine?
Citrine.
Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Promotes emotional well-being and positive energy, also known to help with sleep. And gold regulates body temperature, can help fight infections, helps with arthritis and general blood circulation.
Boom. So again, put symbols, things in your environment that represent life, that represent health, that represent wealth. Um, in one of these, there we go. We got them up there one more time. Art, plants, or earth. In a previous episode, we talked about the hermetic principles
Mm.
and how literally seeing things, reading things with intentions, and believing in the intentions and the impacts of those things can cause real life kind of impacts, right? So the same thing, just like you take medicine, the placebo effect, and it has an impact on your body. The same thing with these symbols. Put some earth in your environment, and really with the intention, the belief that this amethyst is going to give you spiritual and emotional well-being, right? Put some plants in your office and know that that plant is going to give you the life, creativity, and vitality that you need to write that book, to create that smoothie recipe, to create that next edition of Black Wall Street, the board game. Put these things in your space with the belief and the intention of the impact that you want it to have,
Mm-hmm.
right? All right, Queen, anything you want to sprinkle on that?
No.
Good. Cool. So 2 episodes ago, we had a special guest from SHEbuildingHER. Shout out to Star Malone Stone. It was a dope, one of my favorites, impactful episodes, and had a lot of tactical nuggets in there. But one of the products that she talked about was her prosperity box,
Mm-hmm.
right? So she had this box full of goodies, and it kind of inspired this episode in itself. But we bought a prosperity box. She bought a Black Wall Street, the board games. We did a nice little swap of cooperative economics, a swap of resources. But we want to do is we want to do a live unboxing of that prosperity box. Ooh. All right. So if you're listening, we'll try to be as detailed as possible. But definitely make sure y'all head over to the Truvel podcast, or you can on YouTube, so you can actually see all the visuals of it. But if you're just listening, I'll try to be as detailed as possible. Right. So Queen,
Yes.
this was the first item that we received. Boom. And it came separate outside of the prosperity box itself. But mind talking about affirmations,
Mm-hmm.
right? We both do affirmations every day. This is an affirmation journal. You mind reading what it says, probably censored on the front, and then also talking about how you use your own affirmations while I open up the actual box.
I need to censor it. Is that a bad word or something?
Oh, no, it's not.
Okay. So it says it has at first it lists 2 things and they're crossed out. So the first thing is gold digger, and that is crossed out. So obviously, you think about, and keep in mind, right, this is it, her star is all about creating wealth, and her audience is specifically women. So if you think about the word gold digger and how it's usually used to describe a woman who's trying to, get money off of somebody else, usually a man.
Mm.
But so that's crossed out, right? Not me. Goal setter, and that's actually crossed out as well. And what's not crossed out is whatever it takes. So that's kind of this notebook here. So and then it's got the SHEbuildingHER logo. So right, inspiring you to whatever it takes. That's what we're here to do. So your affirmations in here, just to go ahead and jot down whatever it takes to put you in that mindset to build wealth and to continue to thrive.
Love it, love it. So just open the box before we go into it.
Fancy.
One by one, right? Shout out to the packaging. We see you, Star.
Yes.
We see you doing your thing. A lot of images in here. I can't read cursive.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and give you that.
Hey sis, thanks for ordering. I truly hope you enjoy your prosperity box and take full advantage of all it has to offer. Be sure to take photos, video, and tag us, and let me know you received your goodies. Talk soon.
Boom. Well, yeah, we didn't even read that, and we was already doing the video. Regardless, we got you, Star. Prosperity box. this is all the things that it includes in case you're listening on it. It has a It's My Season beanie, a collecting assets face mask, a manifesting golden note for $100, a prosperity candle, 3 prosperity crystals, pyrite, cistrine, hey, it's in there,
Nice.
and green aventurine star. I apologize in advance if I butchered all of those. And then a whatever it takes notebook, and it has a nice little card in here with some more stuff on the back. Um, Pyrite is great for grounding and opening up. Prosperity Candle, use this during your alone time to visualize yourself with the wealth you desire. Again, like these are all symbols. Everything in this box is a symbol of your wealth, a symbol of your prosperity. And I love that it actually says like what each thing should be used for, right? The intention. The manifest golden note, $100. Keep it in your wallet to attract money to you. Come on, Star. The crystal of luck and fortune is it's pyrite. Cistrine helps you manifest things into your life. The green aventurine, thought to be the luckiest of all crystals, especially in manifesting prosperity and wealth. Come on, we got this
Nice.
box. Ain't no stopping us now. Ain't
Go.
no stopping us now.
Hey.
We building wealth.
Hey.
And pass it down.
Hey.
All right, let me stop. All right, so we got 2 masks in here, Queen. One for you, one for me on collecting assets. That's what we doing. So as you protect yourself from the vids, right? Protect yourself, your health. You can also let the world know that you are collecting assets. Boom. We got these prosperity candles in here. I'm gonna let the Queen take the first sniff of that. What are we talking about?
It's almost like a cinnamony.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how else to describe it.
Okay. And what was the counter for again? Let me go back to this powerful card.
Time.
I can't see. Oh, prosperity candle. Hey, listen now. Next box, I need a visionary candle to help me with my vision. Star, talk to me. Prosperity candle. Use this during your alone time to visualize yourself with the wealth you desire. And I love this because it's connecting a symbol to a vision, right? To a what's it called? A feeling, a sense. Thank you, Sinclair, for giving that in with your eyes. I saw your eyes and I was like, sense. But you're gonna have this symbol, and then you're gonna light it. You're gonna smell something, and then you're gonna vision something. So it kind of connects multiple things, and how a symbol can literally inspire senses, inspire action that can inspire another action. So I like that. We got the beanie. I don't know if she made this specifically for us because there's 2 of everything in here. I respect it. Maybe it's just a couples thing. Maybe I should remove my ego from it. But here you go. We got a beanie. And I was just thinking I need some beanies too. Oh, they're both different. It's My Season. Oh no, they're the same. It's My Season beanies in here, matching set. Me and the Queen about to be out here stunning on y'all, bro.
Well, I don't know if I can really wear beanies like
No?
that.
Okay, well, I'm only stunning.
There you go.
And then we got these beautiful gold blue hunnets. Look at this. This is fire.
That is beautiful.
Well, I need to know where you got these made so I can get this in the next edition of Black Wall Street, the board game. That would have been fire. Star, talk to me. We got to get these. That'd be fire if each board game came with this. They're already in production. I don't got time. But this is dope. A nice golden $100 bill. Looks very realistic. It still has the In God We Trust. Still has the blue strip on it. All that good stuff. But it's clearly fake. Don't try to buy this just because you get the gold 100 and you think you can spend it. No, that's not what's going on here. But it does symbolize the wealth that you want to create. This is fire.
Yeah, I like
that. What else is in here? We got some pens, just to be able to write inside of your thing, your journal, and then we got the crystals. Again, shout out to Star, SHEbuildingHER.com. Go ahead and go there, get your own prosperity box. We don't have any special discount code, like we're doing this video out of love, but head there, get your prosperity box. Comes with a lot of good stuff. Hopefully the normal is also, there we go, SHEbuildingHER.com. Must Much appreciated, Jair. But we got our crystals in here too.
Nice.
All right.
I don't know which one is which, but I'm just gonna show you.
Man.
Oh, this must be the green.
Yeah, the green
the lucky one.
Aventry. For some reason, I think Cistrine is this one. And then this one, what else did it come with? Pyrite. Or maybe Pyrite is the other one.
Anybody knows, let us know in the comments.
Right, let us know in the comments which one. But love these crystals. Definitely gonna put maybe one in the car, one in the office. Maybe not, I feel like probably two in the office, one in the car. All right. So that's the unboxing. Again, shout out to SHEbuildingHER. Shout out to Star. Maybe we'll have her come on again and really like do a deeper dive and explain like how she created this box and what type of changes she's seen in her own life or in other people's lives as they get the box and put these intentional symbols of wealth, these intentional symbols of health into their spaces. Queen.
Oh, I was just going to remind, if you're just now joining us, we are unboxing the prosperity box from SHEbuildingHER, Star, who we had on the podcast maybe 2 episodes ago. So great episode. Go check it out so you can have a little bit of background. But we purchased a prosperity box, and so we're unveiling it now, and very excited for all of the prosperity it will bring us in our future.
It's coming. It said one of these was known as the luckiest stone, which is
the green one.
Yeah, which is what we need right now.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It is.
And we'll get into that in a second. But that is the bulk of the podcast, right? So again, some popular symbols that you see all the time. Some popular symbols that you are consuming unintentionally are going to be the stop sign, a lot of logos. You got the Nike sign, the McDonald's sign, you got the Apple sign. These are all symbols that represent something, that represent what the company, what the CEO wanted to represent for you to take action to create wealth for them, not to create wealth for yourself. Right. So some other symbols that we like to surround ourselves with and that we hope that you surround yourself with that will create wealth, that will represent wealth and health for you are going to be art. Right. Pick your own art. Put it up on the wall. If you're a painter, create your own art, whatever you truly want to represent. The Queen likes
plants. Plants are good for just promoting life, promoting growth, oxygen. Provide it has other like health benefits too. But I think plants just promote freshness, life, growth, all that good stuff.
Yep. And then last but not least, gets you a piece of the earth, right? Minerals, gold, cistrine, green Aventry, pyrite, all that good stuff. Like go ahead and get these like pieces of the earth that really symbolize stuff, whether it's just a symbol or they're really doing things. Belief is the variable. So if you believe that they will have that effect, if you believe this is the luckiest stone on the earth and it's going to help us get all the things that we want and envision in our future,
and it's as long as you believe it, it's done its job.
Well, what's the quote, Queen?
Which one?
It's
already happened.
Oh, I love that I can just say the first word and you got it, because it's could have been anything.
Right. But it's already happened. It's already happened. Quote we use to just try to remind ourselves that we don't have to stress for like if things aren't happening in the timing or in the way that we want them to. Remind ourselves that in due time, as long as we keep going, keep striving, making those baby steps, our dreams will manifest because it already happened. It's already happened in the future. We just have to keep going in our current state.
Big facts. So let us know in the comments whether you're watching this live or on the replay or you're listening, right? Shout out to all of our listeners out there driving. Y'all definitely don't stop and type anything. Wait till
please don't.
Right? But let us know what symbols you're thinking about adding to your own space, right? What specific art pieces or general type of arts or quotes are you thinking about adding? Are you going to dive into the plants? Are you going to fully dive into these minerals, right? Like what things are you thinking about adding to your space? And then number 2 is, what action do you want those symbols to create, right? What action do you want those symbols to inspire in your own life or in the life of the people around you, right? So, Queen, feeling good about that?
Feel good.
All right. So, as usual, y'all know we're going to wrap up with a ooh. with an but doing a little recap of our own individual weeks, just how things have gone. I know the Queen got a little bit of unloading to do, so maybe I'll let you go first. But Queen, you know, tell the people a little bit about what you're going through and how you might be able to, how you will get on the other side?
Yes. So I have had one of the rougher weeks that I've had in a while. And really that just stemmed from a lot of all of the different ventures. We got a lot of things going on at any given time.
Word.
But I feel like I'm in a place where kind of in like a slump almost, where you're wanting things to happen and you're making active steps towards things happening, but they have not actualized yet. So just that space where it's like, oh, I want this goal and I wanted it to happen by now, but it hasn't happened yet. And that I'm pretty much in that space in all different ventures. And so to feel that all at once can be very heavy. So yeah, I've been kind of in a slump this week and actively trying to kind of get out of it by, just taking my little steps. I did take some time to just like feel all the emotions I was.
Go ahead and hold that. Go ahead and hold. Oh, you smell it. There we go.
Really feel all the emotions I was feeling. But yeah, I don't know how deep I want to go into all of what is causing it, but in a nutshell, potluck. We've talked about potluck and what that business is. It's basically a platform where foodies can go and get home cooked meals. And so we're actively recruiting chefs to be on the platform, and that has just proven to be a much harder task than I originally anticipated. I thought we had kind of found the
secret
sauce. The secret sauce of this is what's going to do it. And we did get some chefs interested, but unfortunately they just haven't actualized into actual members on the platform. So that's been a little bit kind of hard to get past. And then the other thing is the real estate. We talked about real estate, gosh, so long ago on the episode.
Yep.
And we actually talked about we were starting our real estate journey. And so we have been searching for a property for some time now. And we really wanted to have the property by now. And the real estate market is something you really can't control. So we're just trying to be patient, trying to get this offer. We're going to make an offer. So we're going to hope, we're praying and manifesting that it gets accepted, because we think we put in our time. Right. So yeah, those are kind of the things that I've been dealing with and just getting past. So the things that what I've been doing to try to get past it, and this is actually something that Devon gave me as something to work on. He's usually good for that. Is focus on the things that you can control. So real estate, completely uncontrollable. Like you can't control what properties are available. You can't control whether someone accepts your offer or not. All you can do is put forth your good faith effort and hope that it goes your way. So putting a whole bunch of effort into constantly checking my email, which is what I still am doing, and I try to get out of that habit. But yeah, putting a whole bunch of effort and time and energy into that, probably not wise, because completely, especially because we're out of state investors, we have no control over that. Yeah. So it doesn't do good putting effort or putting like emotional energy into that. Obviously, keep doing the actions that will get us closer to the property, but that's all you can do. But the things that like I can control, I am in the I'm saying the middle. I'm a third of the way through my health coach certification program, which I can control. I can control how fast I go through that. I control all the information. I can control how much I apply that, the information I bring back to this podcast. Yeah. So those are things that I can focus on. So I actually did, was it yesterday? One of the days, I actually sat and did some. I really didn't feel like doing anything because I'm one of those times where it's just like, oh, nothing's happening. You don't necessarily feel like doing a whole bunch of things when you're in that. But I was like, all right, let me pull up the course, and it actually it got me out of at least temporarily. Like it got me out. I was in the course, and I realized it made me remember that this is what you're passionate about. So it does take my mind off of all of the other stressors for a little bit, so I can dive into the course, learning about hormones and all that good stuff. Ooh. So it was good to kind of focus on something else for a little bit. So yeah, just keep focusing on things that we can control, making those steps, and our time will come.
Yes, it will, Queen. Yes, it will. Well done. That's one of the things I love about doing the podcast, good or bad. Like y'all get to see the valleys and the mountains that we go through live, how we, fight and crawl and scratch our way out of these valleys. And then obviously we always celebrate those peaks with you, those mountains with you as well. So, keep on supporting whatever, so not subscribe, whatever kind of things that you're going through for sure. Like, feel free to share those with us, whether it's a comment, whether it's a DM, whatever those things. Like, we want to see the struggles, but we also want to see those wins y'all go through, just like we share with y'all, right? So
can I share the quote that you I think that's very relevant. So again, because you just talked about the valleys and the mountains, and so something that he said in his video earlier, and I don't even know if you realize what a bar it was, but it helped me, and it was that what you do in the valley determines if you will see another mountain. Yep. And I was like, ooh, that's deep. And that really made me think about, like, okay, be very intentional about how you spend your time, even though you're in, a slump or whatever you want to call it. How you take this time, what actions you take during this time frame are going to determine not only like how quickly you see a mountain, that's another iteration that you say, but if you will even see another mountain. So I think that kind of puts it into another perspective of, like, there's someone else going through this that's quitting. They're throwing in the towel. They're like, you know what, it's not for me. I guess it's not meant to happen. But if you stay the course, you will see another mountain. It's just a matter of how far it will be.
All right. And again, she said that's a quote. And we said quotes are symbols. Yep. Right. So the fact that you can, and we're probably going to do this, make a graphic out of this quote that reminds you, so that every time you're in a valley, boom, you remember what you do in the valley will determine when or if you'll see another mountain. Like, if you put that up, now when you're in the slump, when you're in the valley, you'll look up, you'll see that quote, you'll see that image, and you'll be like, cool, let's get to work. Like, that'll inspire the action. All right. Okay. So a little freestyle there. That really worked in with the podcast. We should start a podcast.
Yes, so. How was your week, King?
My week, Queen, beautiful galactic ruler of my heart. It was a split. I think the first half of the week, I was kind of in a mid of a slump, like you were in as well, for different reasons. Again, once I get into like the logistics and the detail side of things, and I'm waiting for manufacturing and all this stuff, I'm just like, I'm not having fun. I'm not engaging. So I was in a little bit of a slump. I also, released the Black Future Month emails, and I emailed like maybe 30 folks, and at first only like 2 people reacted. So I was also getting a little bit of a imposter syndrome. Like, dang, I want to do Black Future Month, but no one's responding. What am I gonna do? Is this even possible? How am I gonna do it by myself? That's too much stress. Sinclair's gonna kill me. What's gonna happen? Right. So I was doing a whole bunch of stress, but I again talk myself out of it. Listen to, like, literally talk myself out of it, because I listened to music that I've made when I was in a very similar position. Right. So not only can visual symbols help you, but lyrics, right? Words, like listening to songs, listening to certain voices can also help you get out of a slump. So I listened to some old songs that I made, Think and Grow, which is on YouTube somewhere. I don't think it's like public out there, but Think and Grow. And then another one that we made that's definitely not published, but it's Feeling the Weight. Great song about how, feeling the pressure, feeling the weight, but what are you gonna do about it, right? So I listened to both of those songs, and then boom, I was in a whole different mindset. Got 8 responses for Black Future Month now, so that's feeling good. The masterpiece editions of Black Wall Street, the board game, the final samples came in the mail 2 days ago, and it's beautiful. Oh, it is so beautiful.
I stared at it.
Where?
I mean, we have the open one is out there.
Oh, so show right here. Just got the gold masterpiece on the back. The road is gold as well, and then the board has all the art on it. It is just a truly work of art, and it's beautiful to. Again, that's why the valleys are also so important, just as the mountains. Because right now, I'm not on a mountaintop that we still got to sell those, but getting them in the hands and like
Mhm.
all the hard work, the yields of work, the long nights, the small detail that the queen was able to find, the small details Markel was able to suggest, like all those small things created that amazing work of art that I think is the best board game we've ever designed.
Mhm.
And like just the quality of it's fire, the information that we put in there is fire, the fact that we have over 14 artists, including the one who created this painting right here, who have contributed paintings for the board game. Like all of it just, in my opinion, takes this game to a whole nother level and will cement it in history, right? So very, very excited about this game, excited to get out into the public. That's the hard part, right? The easy, quote unquote easy part is creating it. Now I gotta do the stuff that I don't like, which is the selling, the
Mhm.
marketing, the promoting, which isn't as fun. But yeah, overall, again, started off with a little bit of a shaky week, but was able to realize that it was shaky and was able to find symbols and find things that can get me out of that valley, get me out of that slump. So now I'm feeling pretty good.
It's good.
Man, feeling good. And then we did the documentary, and the documentary.
Fine.
So really quickly, without falling into a rabbit hole, where we're doing this documentary right now, and we've had this saying that we say, Queen. What's our saying?
It already happened.
That's one of them. Another saying is, see us in 10 years.
Ah, yes.
Right? Like all this work that we're doing, all these Saturdays that we're sacrificing, all these, 9 to 5s that we work, and then also the 5 to 9s that we work, like
Ooh,
all of that.
that was kind of a bar too.
You know what I'm saying? I'm out here. All the things that we're doing is for a reason. So see us in 10 years and you're going to see the fruit of our labor.
Mhm.
Um, so we're doing a little documentary on that. We're in year 2016 is when we started because that's when we graduated. So right now we're 5 years in to the 10-year vision. So
Mhm.
we're at the halfway mark. So we're just trying to, film and document the process, where we're at right now, our mindset, the barriers that we've done, who we're doing it for, Kendry, Delton, Dwight, Sage, Drone, right? The five little kids that we want to manifest, we're doing it for them and kind of talking in the documentary with that lens. So that's something that we started to do, or not started to do. Maybe 100%. Emmanuel, it's all love. This is the third time that we had to do it because, technology issues, mic issues, but I feel like everything happens for a reason
Mhm.
because this one
Was fire.
was fire.
Mhm.
And I feel like obviously like we've grown, I think, tremendously in the past year because of COVID, because of the podcast and being with y'all, every single week and really working on how we speak, working on, this how we really synthesize sentences and all that stuff has gotten so much better.
Mhm.
Being our authentic selves, our corny, quirky, lovely, melanated, galactic
What's talking about?
selves. Look, don't front for these people on the podcast, right? But I feel like where we are today is way better than where we were maybe like I don't know, like 9 months ago when we started and tried to do it the first time. So I feel like this interview was the best interview
Mhm.
by far.
Agreed.
And yeah, I just feel like everything happens for a reason. It was great. So shout out to Emmanuel, appreciate you. Hopefully that what's it called project will be done within 2021. I'm sure it'll be on the True Up Forever YouTube or maybe somewhere else. But yeah, look out for that. The CS in 10 Years documentary, that's going to be fire. I was supposed to make some music to that as well. Yeah, we'll see what
We'll
happens
see.
there. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Queen,
Yes.
we're out of the rabbit hole now.
Yes.
Any parting words that you want to give to our amazing folks out there around wealth, around health? Yeah, any parting words of wisdom you got for these folks?
Just that I think that if you are strategic about putting these symbols of and of what brings you wealth,
Mm,
um, I think that it can be very effective. So just as an example, even talking about this masterpiece edition, I remember when you had the idea and
mm,
brought it, hey, we should do this masterpiece edition. We should get these artists to, and I remember
mm.
thinking like, wow, that's a great idea. Wow, that's going to be so much work, but it's a great idea.
Listen,
And so it's crazy now to see it manifested literally here, like
yeah,
in our hands. You know, all of the different artists, all the different artwork. We have the artwork literally in our living room. So it's really crazy to see it manifested. And you know, I'm sure it just contributes to the amount of creativity of just, you know, wealth symbols that are around in our space. So yeah, I just kudos to you, King. You really did your thing, and it's really inspiring to see you say you're gonna do something and then just do the damn thing.
Thanks, Quade. You know, it's rough out here. You know it gets rough, but I appreciate you. My parting words would be, don't be fooled by some of the images or some of the symbols that we think represent wealth. Right? So like there's, you know, the Gucci, the gold chains, the Balenciaga, all that stuff, like that doesn't represent wealth. That represents money. Right? It represents dollars because you need money to buy it. But it's also interesting because people can have fake Gucci, and it can still symbolize the same thing from a mile away. But realize that stuff doesn't really represent wealth, because that doesn't make wealth for you.
Right.
You're making someone else rich when you buy the Gucci. You're making someone else rich when you buy the Balenciaga. Bill Gates, promise you, doesn't have that much Gucci.
I promise you he wears New Balances.
I promise you he wears New Balances, some off-brand khakis, and for sure drives a Prius just like we do. You know what I'm saying? So that those things don't represent wealth. So find things for you that intentionally represent the future and intentionally represent the wealth and the person that you want to be in the future, and surround yourself with those. It could be your own brand that you start, right? Maybe your own brand, wearing your own stuff. Shout out to Rare. Like the fact that Rare represents being special, being unique, and being the rare self that you are, that can be wealth when you put that onto yourself and you have it represent. So long story short, don't be fooled. Don't be walking in this world, you know, unconsciously just consuming things. Not saying never buy Gucci, not saying never buy name brand stuff, but don't buy it thinking, this represents wealth, because to be honest with y'all, it doesn't. You could have took that same $2,000 or $10,000 that you spent over years to buy a house.
That hurt my soul just make hear you say it.
Right. Listen, there's like these purses, these Coach purses are out here costing like $7,000. People have those purses, but don't own their car, or they have those purses, but don't own the house that they live in. So I'm just, again, no judgments here. I'm just wanting y'all to make the intentional decision. If intentionally you want to, you know, buy the purse or buy the shoes over something that can literally create wealth and change the lives of you and your kids and other people behind you, that's on you. No judgment here. Us on this side, we gonna go ahead and buy that land. We gonna go ahead and build these buildings. We gonna go ahead and start our own brands, because for us, that's what represents wealth, and we truly want that for you. All right. So thank y'all again, beautiful people, as usual, for tuning in to another amazing, impactful episode of the True Health Forever podcast, where we try to live our best life through the lens of holistic health. I'm your host, Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, playblackwallstreet.com. Go ahead and order yourself a Masterpiece edition.
Sharp. And I'm Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd, creator of 7 Smoothies to Live Your Best Life and the 4-week intermittent fasting plan, available on TrueHealthForever.com.
Talk that talk. I see you. We hope y'all stay healthy. We hope y'all stay mentally wealthy. And of course, we hope y'all stay true.